All right, so week 13, April 19th to 23rd, we are going to be continuing working on our Photopea Blended Composition with a history focus. And we are going to dedicate the whole week to it. So you should still be working in that same group of slides. And last week you should have found all your images. So this week we're really focusing on blending those images together. So in both the first video and the second video, we talk about some of the blending skills, but let's review what some of those skills could be. So if I'm using a brush, whether I have a layer mask or I don't have a layer mask, what type of brush do I probably want to use to get that nice feathered edge? A soft brush, okay? And I actually want to pull up Photopea so I can point a few tools out to you. So you do want to be using that soft brush, so we'll just review real quick as to where you can make that change. So if I'm on my brush tool, right here is where I can not only adjust the size, but I can also adjust the hardness. So when I take my hardness to 0, I'm going to get a nice feathered edge. And we can even show an example right now. Okay, so that's going to be a hard, 100% soft. I'm going to get that nice blurred edge. That's really going to help you when you're blending your items. Now again, whether you're using this kind of as an erasing method or you're using this with a layer mask, if the soft brush isn't quite achieving what you want, it's almost taking too much away or adding too much, you can always change your opacity. Okay, so you can see this is a 50% opacity, and that's going to help blend even more, possibly not quite as harsh if you wanted to retain a little more of the image. There is a skill that we learned that had to do with the Marquee Tool that allowed us to make the edge of our pictures have this blurred look. Does anybody remember what setting I changed to do that? David, what you thinking? Yeah, so everything you're saying is on the right track. So you can do it with either of the selection tools, either the elliptical or the rectangular, but the key is the feather. So you want to set the feather prior to making your selection. And then, so the select inverse, I do recommend select inverse because usually we're selecting what we want to keep. You can also select what you want to get rid of. But now when I'm hitting delete, it's fading that edge nicely. And that's the feather. Okay. We also have the adjustment layers that we could possibly use to help blend in, to help blend our objects. And the last one that I want to review quickly today is your layer opacity. Especially if you have an image over top of other images and the images from behind aren't showing through quite enough, you can always change the opacity. So you can see that's just bringing it down. I can still see that I have a gray rectangle there, but the opacity is less. So that would also be another skill. Okay, those are some of the main functions that you're going to be using for your blending, and also the order in which your layers are in, is really important. So as you're playing with the placement of your images and where they're overlapping, you can also change the order to see how the colors show through. Okay. It is important that we're making sure we're taking that screenshot each day. I do recommend that you save at the end of each of your work periods, and I do recommend that you upload it to Google Drive so you don't accidentally lose your work. Okay. Any questions? All right, please go ahead and get busy.